Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin after quite a volatile day yesterday. First, not much happened, then we saw a new low here. We came down to around about just above 18k, made a new swing low here, and we're currently following the path nicely. We talked in the previous video about a retracement to the upside in possibly a wave 2. I think we are seeing that at the moment. And overall, the trend is still down. The trend is still down. Of course, various possibilities here. If certain important levels are broken, then we can see a stronger move, a stronger retracement. And, there are a lot of different possibilities. And everybody just needs to understand that, Of course, we can move up short term to 21k. These are all possibilities, but this doesn't change anything in the overall trend, which is at the moment down. As soon as the trend shifts, then we can get a more bullish attitude again. There's no point talking about the low is in if we don't have the evidence in the chart. Okay, because I always read conflicting comments, and that's fine, but the problem is, if you are in a downtrend and the daily trend is clearly down, we can't speculate that the low is already in, because while this is possible, we need to see evidence in the chart. When you have a trend which is currently going down, you need the evidence that the trend is shifting. Otherwise, you can come up with all sorts of scenarios here, but it doesn't help us. It doesn't help us with investing. It doesn't help us with trading. So therefore, as I said in the previous video, we need to move above the 22.1k level to consider something more bullish. Until then, any move to the upside would, with a high likelihood, be just a corrective move up before we come down once more. At the moment, I understand this wave 5 as a diagonal pattern: wave A, wave B, wave C in a wave 5, and the wave 5 in itself as a C wave. The C wave is the last leg of that wave 5, and the C wave in itself is a 5-wave move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, with those subwaves being 3 waves each as well, because it also is, at least can be counted like that. And the choppy price action actually confirms that thesis, that this is an ending diagonal in itself, which means that all of these waves can be counted as a 3-wave structure. A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C down now. And then there will be 2 more ABC patterns here in waves 4 and 5. And I think it's currently unfolding as suggested in the previous video earlier today, where we talked about the wave 3, and that in the wave 3, the wave A might already be in, the wave B as well, and that we're now heading down in wave C. You can see very nicely here that we came down in what probably was an impulsive move down, a wave 1. We're now shifting higher in wave 2. That's what I suggested in the previous video. Very important to look at the Fibonacci retracement levels in this scenario. So we have now bounced off the 61.8% Fib level. Very important not to get in this wave above $19,536. If we do this, if we get above that level, it will make this wave 2 very unreliable and will give you already a warning that we most likely will break above the 19.9k level as well, and that we will then most likely also get above 20.2k. And if we get above 20.2k, then the scenario shifts, but not bullish, rather an more extensive correction, and we would have to assume that this wave 2 was probably never finished. We can assume that as long as we don't go above 22.1k. So at the moment the trend is down. These are the key retracement levels. As always, the 78.6% Fib level, a key level for a wave 2. We could already reverse down now, but possibly push once more higher, and should then see quite an impulsive sell-off to the downside as per this scenario. But as I said, we need to keep an open mind here at the moment. There are various possibilities how this can be counted at the moment. And due to the volatility, it just shows you how many possibilities there are. So I'm not glued to any particular scenario here. And again, I can't stress it enough, this can be counted in various ways. I can even count all of this here as a W, X, and the Y wave would be next. There are so many here. A, B, C, and now we're moving up. But again, what we can speculate about all sorts of different scenarios, and you get these periods in charts. And Bitcoin is a super messy chart at the moment. There are these periods in charts where just numerous possibilities are possible. Now, as a trader, this means you could still trade based on the key invalidation points that I gave you here in this video. Or you just stay away from it, trade the larger waves because the higher level assumption is still down. Or you wait for that large accumulation area here, which I believe could be a reversal point between 14 and 16K. These are sort of the decisions every trader needs to make for themselves. But for now, I do expect lower lows until the trend shifts. And I think it's just important to be flexible. There's no point having an emotional bias or being emotionally attached to any particular scenario. This is often a recipe for failure. Had a few people who asked me about Bitcoin, Ethereum. Ethereum, you obviously probably know that I expect a trend reversal fairly soon to the upside. So the question is always, how can it be that Ethereum can turn around and Bitcoin not? First of all, there is no guarantee Bitcoin will go lower. There is no guarantee. If the trend shifts to the upside, it shifts. Yeah, the bullish scenario has not been invalidated. It has become unlikely, but it has not become invalidated. Therefore, we need to still have the bullish option on the radar. Bear in mind, this might be difficult to understand for everybody who's new in crypto now, but we have moved down 60-70% for Bitcoin. Bitcoin has fulfilled all requirements it needs to fulfill in this longer downtrend. At any moment in time, Bitcoin can turn bullish. It's just that the developments over the last few weeks have made it unlikely. But it is of course possible because in the longer run, Bitcoin has fulfilled the needed the requirements in the moment when it broke below 29K. From that moment, the requirements for this larger correction in which Bitcoin is in have been fulfilled. And anybody who's been watching this channel for a longer period now and has been with MCO for a while knows that at that moment, below 29K, the higher level pattern requirements have been fulfilled. So from that moment, Bitcoin theoretically could have turned around. Now, just because the minimum requirements for a correction are fulfilled, it doesn't mean it needs to turn around, yeah? So the trend is always your friend until the end, as dumb as it sounds, but it is true. So we need to have a signal that we're turning up, okay? Bitcoin never gave that signal. We never had a completed impulse and a wave 2 down, which you need to see, to have a trend reversal. But this can happen. Therefore, we need to have that open mind. So possible trend changes are always the most difficult to forecast and the most difficult to trade. And we are at the moment in such a potential scenario. So I'm not glued to lower lows, yeah. I think the best value you get from this analysis, if you just have an open mind, we need to have it. And there will be periods when we will have only bullish scenarios. Bear in mind, until May or June, I think it was, we had only bearish scenarios until we hit the 20K level. Yeah, only from that point of view and moment we started to have a bullish scenario, because again, the minimum requirements for Bitcoin's correction have been fulfilled. So from that point of view, therefore we always need to be ready. Yeah, and therefore I am going to accumulate in this area, and I have already bought little bits of Bitcoin, as you will know. So that's my view about Bitcoin. So hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, please check out the channel membership. Bye bye.